Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's video. Today's video is an exercise that I've been thinking about doing stuff like this for quite a while, and I get actually questions from you guys to do things like this. This is an exercise that I do with some of my clients who need it. Actually, quite a few need it. I have a playlist titled Healing CPTSD, where you can find tons of other videos like this in that playlist. Stress. I talk a lot about CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Typically, this is caused by relationships, emotional stress over time. There's been a lot of studies recently that I've found and been learning from about post-traumatic stress disorder. What we're finding out is that adults that are susceptible to this, that get PTSD in adulthood, quite often, most, have had trauma in their childhood. And this might be CPTSD, something more complex. So relationships are so vitally important to us. Our emotional needs are the most important to us. And we need to know how to have good relationships, healthy relationships. This is not something we're born with. This is something that's not easy for anybody. As you guys know, there's a ton of relationship problems, and a lot of relationships end. At least half of marriages end in divorce. Who knows how the other half of marriages are? Not to crush any hope you guys have of having a happy marriage relationship. They do exist. The problem is that we're not born knowing this, and at the first beginning of our life, we're totally dependent on our parents, who are our teachers, to teach us how to meet our emotional needs and how to have and navigate through relationships and how to have healthy ones. And if they failed us, then we still have to learn, and it's never too late. But I see people in every decade, 40s, 50s, 60s, not know how to have a relationship with people. And it's not something that we typically give up on forever. We can not know, but we still need to. We still, all of us really seek attachment at some time in our life. And so we'll keep trying to have relationships, and they might keep being failures and failures and failures. Relationships are the biggest source of comfort and stress. Biggest source. A lot of people might argue that, as financial stress seems to be quite a burden for a lot of us. But what's really, truly important to us, and a lot of us may not know that, is not money. It's not finances. It's relationships and having our emotional needs met in them. So what is very common with people, victims of abuse and emotional trauma, is we don't identify stress. And so we can't eliminate it. We don't know how to have healthy relationships, so there is stress, and we don't know what to do about it. We haven't been taught what to do about it, and really how to have really good, effective communication skills. Communication will make things happen immediately. So if there's a problem, real simple, every relationship has problems. And when a problem arises, it needs to be addressed and fixed. And if we can't fix it, the relationship is over. Communication will do all of that. Communication will fix your problems or help you be aware that they cannot be fixed and end them in healthy ways. All of it is by communication. Okay? So that's something we can all work on, and that's by doing it. A big problem of us survivors who have come out of these horrible relationships, our brain takes over and says the only way to stay safe is isolate. Don't trust anybody. We are lacking in major communication at that point. We're not trying to connect with people. We're not trying to get married or have children and things like this. And we're really, really losing out and damaging ourselves by doing this. So something I suggest for my clients is to maintain their relationships. Let's have some kind of relationship maintenance. Okay, let's evaluate our relationships, see where they're at, what they do for us, how they affect us, and what we can do about them. Okay, so this is a short little exercise, and I get much more into detail with this with my clients. If anybody wants to have coaching, please contact me at daviddemars.com. The link is right down below, and I can help you a lot more than this. But this is to get you guys started, to increase your self-awareness and to see where your relationships are at, to start understanding. So what this requires is some self-awareness, first of all. You guys might want to do two things before you start this exercise. One is write down what you value the most. Morals. Go look up morals and write down the ones that you value, even if it's all of them. Okay? Not what somebody else says you should value, not what somebody else values, not what your parents value, not what anybody else values. You. What are the biggest morals that you value? Okay? And you make that your standard list, because I'm going to tell you right now that a relationship, the only chance you have the first chance you have for any relationship to function, to grow, to be loving, is values must match. There is no other way around it. And not everybody values the same morals. Not everybody values any morals. I know people that do not value any morals whatsoever. The problem is everybody will tell you they do. So it takes time. Okay? If you have relationships, friendships, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, whatever it is, you're currently in a relationship right now. And after these abusive relationships, we need to see, because what happens quite often is after we come out of a relationship with someone with a personality disorder, is we see that we may have other relationships with people that have personality disorders. We may see that our relationships, because I'm going to tell you, a lot of us think that it's all about bad or good person and if they're abusing us or not. I mean, you know, that would be the first step, but that's not really a step too many people are concerned about. If someone abuses them, they leave. Not us, huh? And I'm going to make more videos about that soon. But values have to match. So write down what you value the most, what morals you value the most, and that's the beginning of your standard list, and no one's allowed in your life unless they value the same thing. The second thing you're going to need to know is what your emotional needs are. I've made a video about emotional needs in my Healing CPTSD playlist. Go watch that if you want to, or just go look up what emotional needs are and figure out what yours are. People tend to value about 10. They might be a little different, but we have to have these met in relationships. If we don't have them met, there's stress. If we have them met, there's comfort. Real simple, yeah? Something, but we may not be aware of. So what are your emotional needs? Now, we can do the exercise as long as you guys are aware of yourself and what you value and what your emotional needs are, okay? So what we're going to do is, on a piece of paper, everybody's got to use their computer or phones, but you can if you want, but a piece of paper is not something that you can file away forever and hard to find and lose and forget about. You leave it right here for now. What we're going to do is we're going to have 5 categories across the top of the page, okay? Something like that, okay? And we're going to have name, scale of 1 through 10, why, and do your values match and our needs met. This is the beginning. This is where we're going to start, okay? And so we'll go over it again. Don't worry. I'll tell you. And so down the column, we're going to write everyone's name we have a relationship with here, okay? And that's friends, that's family, that's, boyfriend, girlfriend, stuff like this. Maybe not so much coworkers, right? These are interdependent relationships. And so let's start with the first. Let's start with one person. I wrote Lisa. Lisa is what I always use. So the first category is stress comfort levels, 1 through 10. And you guys can do it however you want. This is something that I just made up. But let's rate our relationship, not the person. We don't value people and stuff like this. It's the relationship you have with this particular person. So rate that relationship 1 through 10, with 1 being stressful and comfort being 10, because that's what we want. We want 10 out of 10, don't we? Not every relationship is going to be 10 out of 10, not even for healthy people. There's always going to be some weird, quirky stuff, or something comes up for a little while that causes problems. But overall, what do you rate the relationship as? 1 being the most stressful, 10 being the least stressful, which would be comfortable. Then the next category would be why. Why? Why did you put it as a 6? Which is right in the middle. I mean, 5, imagine a 5 or 6 being not much stress, not much comfort, kind of just bleh, right? Try to write a reason why you rated it as you did, even if it's a 10. Why? Why is that relationship a 10 to you? Why is it a 1? Okay? Next category, do your values match? And we put a check mark, because if we don't have that check mark, there's no point in a relationship. It'll never, ever work, guys. I value honesty. I cannot have a relationship function at all unless everyone in my life that I have relationships with also values honesty. Not just says it. Not just says, oh yeah, I value honesty. Yeah, you got to be honest. I'm honest. Yeah. But then they go lie. They don't tell you the whole truth. They hide things from you. That's not honesty. They don't value it. I don't care if they say they do. Somebody that says they value honesty and shows that they don't is an extremely unstable, contradicting person that doesn't know themselves. You can call them like a major master manipulator if you want, but the bottom line is they don't know themselves. They're either falsely representing themselves or they're not accurate. So, do values match? Check mark, must. Are emotional needs being met? So you go down your emotional needs and you ask yourself, it's emotional, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. Like the first one for all of you should be emotional security. We got to have emotional security for relationships to work, function, be loving, grow, all of it. We have to have our emotional needs met, okay? So security would be a feeling. I'll explain it to you. And like I said, I have another video about this if you guys want to watch them, okay? And learn more about your emotional needs. But just the first one, maybe you have 10, maybe this is 1 out of 10, maybe this is the most important, probably. Emotional security. It means that I won't leave you no matter what. I'll be with you forever. I'll be there especially when you're down and you need me. I won't kick you. I'll be there for you, always. Everything that you and I share together, I won't share it with anybody else. I won't tell anyone. And if I do ever talk about you, it'll only be good. That's just a little bit of emotional security. Can you feel that? Now, do you have that in your relationships? Okay? If you don't, now you know what needs to be fixed. Emotional needs must be met. And we do that by being vulnerable and asking and telling them how they feel and asking for what you want. Okay? Communicating. So now, after you've weeded out the people that don't match your values, right? And you have relationships that are providing stress for you. Because if we have a 10 out of 10, not much maintenance needed. Keep doing what you're doing. Try to identify what it is so good about that relationship. Emotional connection, emotional autonomy, privacy, emotional support, right? Availability, things like this. So if there are people left that you have relationships with that are stressful, right? 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you still want a relationship with them. You want to try. The values match, but the emotional needs aren't being met. That's what you believe so far. Here's 2 questions to ask yourself, okay? Number 1, don't look ahead. Just try to answer this question. 1 step at a time. It doesn't matter anything else. What do you want in a relationship with this person? Okay? We already know emotional needs must be fixed. That's a good start. But what do you want in a relationship with this person? What does it look like? How would you like to interact? Do you want your emotional needs met in this kind of relationship? Are you committed? Are they committed? Even friends. How often do you want to see each other? How often do you want to talk? These are your terms of your relationship, and they have to be met. These have to be the terms of your relationship. They may have terms too. Listen to them, and if you agree, only if you agree, then do them. But you need to set your terms in your relationship so you feel like you have a little bit of power and a little bit of control. Okay? A little bit. Not the person, the relationship. We do have some control over the relationships that we have with people. Not the person, the relationship. What do you want? And after you realize what you want, then second question is to ask yourself and be completely honest with yourself. Completely honest. What are they capable of? Are they capable of doing this? Are they capable of giving you this? Are they capable of minding your boundaries and stuff like this? And honoring your terms. Because if they're not capable, we have to accept reality. It's over. Everyone has a problem in a relationship. We try to fix the problems. And if we cannot, it's over. 3 steps. Real easy. Once you believe that they are capable of doing this, now what do? Let's write out a letter. Let's write out a letter. 3 things in this letter. 1 is their name. 2 is feelings. And 3 is what do you want? So, number 1, write the name. That's easy. Number 2, write feelings. We have thousands, maybe tens of thousands of feelings. What kind of feelings does this relationship create or cause you to have. Good ones: exciting, loving, lonely, frustrating, stressful. Yeah, stressful. If you have a relationship that's a 2 out of 10, it's causing you stress. Let them know, this relationship is causing me stress. I think about it at work. I wake up and think about it. I have nightmares. I have dreams. I'm worried. List as many emotions as you can, because the more you do, the better communication you're having, right? That's the best communication. I feel this many things, instead of just fine or okay. What does that tell you? Nothing. Nothing. Fine, okay. All right, alive. Then we ask for what we want. I would like a deeper, more communicative relationship where our needs are being met. And I'd like to see you more often. I'd like you to call. I can't see you this much. This is boundaries. Boundaries is communicating to somebody your comfort level. It's right here. You come over too much. You call me too much. You expect me to text you every time you text me, and I can't. That causes stress, guys. Stress. I'd like, I'm working, I have a family, I have whatever. I can only see you once a month. I can only talk to you once a week. I cannot return your text messages right away. I'm an extremely busy person. Just for example, extremely busy person. I have phone calls all day. I have text messages all day. I have emails all day. I have social media questions. I've answered up to every single day, up to 1,000 questions a day, tons of emails. I make videos, I talk to clients, and I try to have a social life. I can't have my phone go off. I can't. I get spam calls and texts. I get solicitors. I get all kinds of crap all day long. All day long. I turn my ringer off. I keep it off. I keep all my notifications off. Therefore, it causes me no anxiety, no stress. And when I'm ready, I look at my phone and I see who's there. I explain this to my friends. Imagine if I didn't say that to my friends and I don't text them back right away and I don't answer their calls that day. If they have a problem with that, they have to tell me, and I'll try harder, or the relationship is over. Do you see that? So we write the letter, name, lots of feelings, exactly what I want. And then you decide what you want to do. If you want to tell them, if you want to read it to them. The best communication is face to face. Try not to communicate much through text messages, guys, or emails. There's just, communication is hard enough, and there's just so much room for error and misunderstanding, and it just gets worse, right, when we type it. And it's not very respectful. You care about this relationship, show it. Show it. You can't talk tonight, that's fine. Let me know when you can talk about this. If they don't, then I may not want to talk about the relationship. It's over. We are unaware of stress, once again, in relationships. We've ignored it, we've lived with it, we've accepted it, we've built our nest in dangerous, stressful places and relationships. We may not be that aware of danger, of fear, and we're definitely not used to doing anything about it. So we need to start doing that, okay? Stress is vitally important to keep out of our lives. The healthy person doesn't just cope and live with stress all day. And I know that's what a lot of you think. I used to. A healthy, strong person has a stressful job, a stressful family, stressful everything, and they're just so good about it. No. They eliminate stress from their work. They eliminate stress from their family, right? And then they have a healthy life. It's knowing how to do that. And relationships, the biggest cause, okay? This causes stress. This causes, again, this means that we must know our emotional needs. We must know what we value. And this is about boundaries, which we lack in. And then responsibility in relationships. We've got to be responsible. There's a ton of responsibilities in relationships. And if we're committed, we have to do this if we want it to work. Number one, again, most important, communication. The only way to get good at it is talk and keep being better and better and better and better at it. Okay? It's not necessarily something you need to go to class and work on. No. Try to start being vulnerable, start trusting people, and start communicating yourself, what you need, what you want, how you feel, what your opinion is, and what you value, and start showing these every day. Okay? And that's how we feel stable. I hope this exercise helps you guys. Please let me know what you think. I'd love some feedback, just if you think this is good, this is beneficial, how it affected you. And do you want more videos like this? I have a couple other ideas of videos I think I'm going to make to help you guys, because I know a lot of you guys can't afford therapy, coaching, things like this. And I just hope this helps you guys. Let me know. Thank you. Always love yourself first. Okay, guys? Bye-bye. Thanks.